Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am making a video that I titled, or I think it's going to be titled, Starter Pack for Sustainable Fashion. It's kind of cheesy, but I saw like someone else do it, and it was like for seasons of your life, and it was like starter pack for a season of disappointment. So I thought it was kind of cute idea. But if you don't know, I am very passionate about sustainability in the fashion industry as well as ethical production. So I kind of, being the planner that I am, made a little outline about what to talk about so I don't forget anything. But I want to start off with kind of giving you the basic rundown on what's wrong with the fashion industry. I'll link down some blog posts down below where I really go into depth and explain exactly the statistics and specific issues, and so that you can get a bigger, more detailed picture about what exactly is wrong with the fashion industry. Because I know a lot of people, I could be here talking about oh my gosh, this is horrible, but if you don't see the statistics, it doesn't really hit you. But also, just before I start talking about this, if you are interested in this as well, or if anything in this video kind of sparks your interest in this, watch the documentary True Cost. I'll leave the link or just the name of the documentary in the description box. But if you watch that, you'll learn so much about the fashion industry, and it's a lot more impactful to actually watch the events unfold, because they have footage from the Rana Plaza collapse, which I'll talk about. It's just a really good documentary to watch, and that's kind of if you are trying to learn more about sustainable fashion, that's a must watch. So first, okay, I've said first off 5 times, but okay. So the difference, so you're going to hear me talk about sustainable and ethical fashion, but there is a distinction between them, and a lot of people just lump it together, but they are actually two separate things. They usually, most companies that are passionate about one will have the other, so don't worry about that too much. So basically, sustainable fashion or sustainability means that the clothing is made with consciousness about the environment. So the materials that are used are more natural fibers that can decompose, or on the other hand, they could be made from recycled water bottles, or they're just made in a way so that there's minimal impact on the environment. So brands that are more focused on sustainability would be the Girlfriend Collective, Reformation, stuff like that. So they're very conscious about their impact on the environment. Reformation is 100% carbon neutral, so that's kind of their way of minimizing their footprint. That makes sense. Then ethical fashion or ethical production in the fashion industry is more concerned with people. So this is the one that I if I had to choose between which one's more important for me, I would pick ethical, because to me, people come first. So ethical fashion means that the workers making your clothing were paid fair wages, so they were paid living wages, basically. They had safe conditions, safe working conditions, and hopefully most companies have some kind of protection for workers, especially women workers, because you'll probably see it if you read my blog post, but lots of women workers, garment workers, are actually sexually harassed by bosses, which is horrible. And that's why, I don't know, this issue with fashion is not tied to fashion companies. This is a worldwide thing that we all need to be made aware of, because it's even a feminist issue. I don't know, it makes me mad, and I've seen this on Instagram, but there's Forever 21 would make feminist t-shirts and be I'm a woman, but they're made by factory workers that are sexually harassed. That's not feminism. That's just branding so that you can get more money from feminists who don't understand where their clothing came from that's actually hurting other women. Anyway, so I want to give you a brief overview about this issue, and as I said, you can read more about it in my blog post, because I actually did a whole school assignment over this, so I had to actually research and read a book about this and stuff like that. And there's so many other sources where you can get really detailed information. So this thing called the fashion revolution, or this revolution towards sustainability and ethical production, started on but around April 24th, which was the collapse of Rana Plaza. I think it was in 2015. I'm pretty sure. But basically, this garment factory in Bangladesh collapsed and 1,000 people or something like that died. Something outrageous. So many garment workers died and were injured, had to have their legs amputated. It was just horrific. And so this really brought to light everything that's going on behind the scenes of the fashion industry that no one really knew of before, because there's such a lack of transparency in the fashion industry. And like, just think about it. Like, yeah, you have like a clothing tag that like might say like made in China, but you don't know anything about that. Like, you don't know who works there, you don't know how much they get paid, you don't know how much the company paid to have their product manufactured and how much they're selling it to you. Because I mean, just like think about like the profit like markup on the clothing that you buy, because I've seen Zara sell stuff for like $120. It did not cost anything like near like $60 to make that. Like, that's outrageous. Like, come on, Zara. You know what I'm saying? Oh my gosh, the owner of Zara is like one of the most wealthy people on the planet, and he can't even pay his workers living wages. Amazing. Anyways, I get very like angry about this because as a one, like, I just want to have justice in the world, and there's such an imbalance of justice and like fairness in this whole industry, which I know, like, I'm not being like, oh, let's be communist, but like, oh, I just don't understand why some people are so greedy. Like, do you not have empathy for people who don't even have living wages? Like, oh my goodness. Anyway, so that's kind of like the ethical side of it. Rana Plaza collapsed. This organization called the Fashion Revolution, which is based in the UK, started, and they have been trying to empower garment workers, help them find a voice, help other people gain awareness about this issue, and then also pressure fast fashion companies into ethical and sustainable production. And they actually have made a lot of progress in that sense. Not nearly enough, but it's been a lot more, because I know like sometimes I'll go to the mall and I know like Athleta, for example, is like registered as a B Corp foundation, or not foundation, brand, something about sustainability. I need to research more into that, but there's been a lot of companies that are starting to make some changes, which is good. So yeah, the Fashion Revolution is kind of like the leading organization in spurring this movement. And so, as for the environmental side, the fashion industry is just so wasteful. Like, it first of all promotes consumerism, and so we're buying so much more than we need. Like, who needs like 20 dresses? Like, you don't need a new dress for every occasion you go to. Believe it or not, people don't care that much if you wear the same dress to 3 different events. Just like putting it out there, because I've worn the same dress to like I'm going to keep wearing it. Like, I wear it to everything. Like, I was telling my friend the other day, and, like, we were talking about Hoko, and, like, she was like, oh, yeah, that dress that you wear to, like, everywhere. And I was like, that's the dress. I mean, sustainability, am I right? So, basically, the fashion industry just promotes this consumerism and wastefulness, where we see clothing as discarded, like, as just, like, being able to be discarded. And there was this one quote from this Dutch designer, and he was like, we treat clothing like food. Like, we just think it's like disposable. Like, you can just like throw it away and like wear it like once and it's like consumed. You know what I'm saying? And it like costs the same as food. Like, you can get like a t-shirt for $4. Like, that's outrageous. Like, there are meals more expensive than a t-shirt. Like, what? That's just weird. But yeah. And then also obviously the factories produce so much pollution. There's, if you read the blog post, there's like the dyes used in clothing can like run off into the streams, especially in India, and they just completely contaminate the water that people are drinking and make them sick. So that's horrible, and companies don't have to take any responsibility for that. They just like wipe their hands. They're like, oh, too bad. I'm just making my money. I'm the richest man in like the world, and it's fine if people are dying from contaminated waters because of my factories. Yeah. So, along with that, now that you kind of have an overview about what's wrong with the fashion industry, which is many, many things, if you could probably tell by now, I kind of want to give y'all some tips on how to live a more sustainable lifestyle. So regarding fashion, I mean, there's so many other areas of our lives that we need to focus on being more sustainable, but I want to focus on fashion right now, and then maybe I'll make a separate video about that later, because I'm still on that journey as well. So I've given up shopping like fast fashion retailers for only like a few months, but it's still hard. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, it's hard. It's hard. I mean, like, sometimes my family will be like, oh, let's go to the mall. And I'm like, okay, like, there's no point in going to the mall. I can't buy anything. Like, that sucks. JK, it's not that bad, but you know what I mean. So the first thing, if you want to start this journey towards having a more sustainable wardrobe and, like, shopping habits, is pick quality over quantity. And so I know this is kind of basic, but I feel like we forget about that a lot. Like, you don't need 5 Forever 21 dresses. They went bankrupt, by the way. Yay! We don't need 5 Forever 21 dresses when we could have like one dress made. I mean, okay, I'm just like kind of doing it in tiers. Like, I see, like, the way I see it in my head is kind of like tiers. So, like, once you pass this tier, then you move on to this, and then you move on to this. And, like, if you want to get real crazy about it, then, like, you know what I mean? So, quality over quantity, like, that's pretty easy. Like, you can just, like, pick pieces that will last you a longer time, even if they're more expensive, and you can just style them different ways instead of buying, like, so many different dresses that you're only going to wear once each time, because that's literally like having that consumerist mindset that we've kind of been brainwashed into. So the next thing that you want to do if you're shifting to a more sustainable wardrobe is shopping secondhand. And so this is kind of like, people say that stopping fast fashion is more expensive, but it's really not. Like, you just choose to shop secondhand. So I brought a few items from my wardrobe here because I used to be so, like, grossed out by thrift shopping. Like, I was like, ew, like, it's, like, gross, and, like, other people wore it. I'm such a germaphobe. But, like, it's not that bad. Just wash it. I know, like, for me, I kind of had a hard time getting over it. I was like, oh, I don't care how many times I wash it. It's still, like, someone else's. But, like, you'll get over it. So I have this shirt that I thrifted. I feel like some people think it's ugly, but it's from Lucky Brand, and it's so cute. I just really like the way that it fits, and I cropped it so that it was shorter on me, and I actually wear this shirt a ton, and I got it secondhand, and it's just like a very inexpensive way to add things to your wardrobe. Also, if you don't feel comfortable thrift shopping, I know for me the way that I started out shopping secondhand was by shopping on Poshmark, and that's just, if you don't know what it is, it's kind of like an app where you can just, like, sell your clothes, or you can buy other people's clothes, and you just, like, search for your brand online, then, like, put your sizes in. So this is my favorite secondhand find ever, and will probably be my favorite secondhand find, like, for my entire life. I got this gorgeous dress from Reformation. I love it so much. It's like a midi dress, and like y'all, like, if you know what Reformation is, like, I am obsessed with Reformation, but I'm sorry, like, I don't have the money to pay $300 for a dress. Like, I just don't. But I got this one for $60, and it was literally from this girl who wore it once for her engagement pictures. Like, it's in perfect condition, and I got it for, like, over half off, and I just love it so much. Like, it's so pretty. It's my favorite dress ever. So yeah, like, you never know what you can find when you shop secondhand. Like, that's why I'm kind of showing you some stuff, because people are like, oh, like, I'm just gonna find, like, ugly, like, granny stuff. But, like, you can find good stuff. It's like, shopping secondhand is the most sustainable option, just so you know, because, like, you're not putting more clothing out there, you're just reusing, and it continues the cycle. So next is shopping from sustainable stores. So, obviously shopping secondhand is the most sustainable option, but I totally understand. Sometimes you want to get something a little new, something different, and so I wanted to share my favorite my favorite sustainable stores. And so my first, number one, is Everlane. I tell everyone about Everlane because I love Everlane so much. I was listening to a podcast. I didn't even know that a man started it. I don't know if that's like rude or something, but I just like assumed, because like they have such cute clothes for like women. So I know this is like the most basic piece I could show you, but all of my, because Everlane has very like basic clothing. They're really cute, but very basic. And so my favorite t-shirts are from Everlane. I have this one, and I just love it so much. This Everlane is a very ethical brand. They are sustainable as well. Like they do recycle cotton for some of their t-shirts. They use very natural fibers to make a lot of their clothing. They're not vegan, so like their shoes are made out of leather. I'm not gonna not shop somewhere that isn't vegan. Like I'm just not as passionate about that. But I just love Everlane so much, and they, like, the biggest thing about Everlane is how radically transparent they are. So like their kind of slogan is like radical transparency, and so they will literally, like, when you go on their website, they will show you like how much it costs for the materials, how much it costs for labor, how much it costs for transportation, and then they like show you like their markup and then the final price of the product. So I just think that's so cool how they do that, because like you just like see everything, and it's just such a radically different way to do a brand, and they're one of like the first people in that market. So I just really admire that brand. I love Everlane. I will forever tell people about Everlane. Next is Reformation. So I just wanted to include Reformation because like if you can afford it, if you like scrounge up some money, like $400, like you like, oh my goodness, like Reformation has the most gorgeous clothing I've ever seen in my entire life. And all of their stuff is made out of dead stock material, which basically is, so after like other companies manufacture, they could have like scraps, and usually those would go to waste and be burnt or just thrown away, ended up in landfills. So Reformation kind of salvages those materials and turns them into new pieces, which is really cool because it's sustainable, and they, like, their factories are like 100% carbon neutral. But yeah, I just really like Reformation, so I just wanted to put them out there. And also, you can try to find Reformation on Poshmark, and you could get a really good deal, and they're just such a gorgeous brand. Another brand that I wanted to share is called Nobody's Child. So Nobody's Child, this is the dress I have from Nobody's Child. Nobody's Child is a UK-based brand, and it's similar to Reformation but a lot cheaper, so I think you should definitely look into it. But they make all of their clothing out of dead stock as well, so I just really like it. And I do have to get all of the pieces I get from them altered because unfortunately they start at like a UK 4 or 6, which is too big for me. So yeah, it kind of sucks, but I mean, I still really support this brand, and I actually like, I'm starting a project, and I'm trying to help like with the fashion revolution and stuff and support them. So also in the description, I'll have my blog linked, and I have a tab on there, and it says donate, and you just click on there, enter your payment information, and you can make a donation that will go straight to the fashion revolution and support their efforts in this incredible issue that I'm super passionate about. And I just want to put that out there. If you're starting to grow passionate and you're like, oh, like, what, that's so bad, I didn't even know that was happening, donate. You can help them out, grow this movement so more people know about it. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, so I had a different idea for what I wanted to do for my project. So I actually messaged Nobody's Child, and they like responded, and they were willing to work with me. And I don't know, I just thought that was really cool. Like, they're really nice about it. I didn't think they were actually going to respond. But the next brand is the Girlfriend Collective. So this is for activewear, and I know a lot of people are very loyal to Lululemon. I used to be one of those people. I was like, oh, I just like can't not shop at Lululemon for my activewear. And Lululemon isn't the worst when it comes to sustainability. They do have a sustainability tab on their website, but the Girlfriend Collective makes all of their activewear out of recycled water bottles and recycled fishing nets, stuff like that. So I have a pair of leggings. I don't have them with me right now, but they're black. They fit perfectly. I like them better than my Lululemon leggings. Like, I barely wear my Lululemon leggings because I just love those so much, and they just fit me better. So they also have sports bras, shorts, biker shorts. Like, they have a lot, and they have really pretty colors. So if you're looking for some activewear, check them out. This video isn't sponsored, obviously. I have like 4 subscribers. Like, Girlfriend Collective isn't going to sponsor me. I mean, they could if they want to. It's putting it out there. The last brand I have for you is Madewell. I am fully aware that this is not a very sustainable or ethical brand. I just wanted to shout them out because I personally really love Madewell, and they have made a lot of progress and are a lot better than most fast fashion brands. So this t-shirt is from Madewell, this hair scarf is from Madewell. I mean, I don't justify every purchase I make from Madewell because I know they're still not like ethical and sustainable, but they do have a line of jeans that is fair trade certified. So fair trade certified means that they kind of like inspected the factories and the people are paid living wages, safe working conditions, stuff like that. They also have, I have a swimsuit from Madewell. It's super cute. I have a picture of it on my Instagram. It's like the red one with the flowers, and that was made out of recycled water bottles, so that's really cool. So there are some things that you can find on the website where they have certain lines that are kind of more ethical or sustainable, so they are making an effort, so that's why I thought I'd put in an honorable mention. My last tip for sustainability is this app called Good On You, because I know like a lot of people, they're like, oh Lisa, like I don't even know where to start, like how do I know if a brand is good or not? Like that's so much work. I'm not going to research every brand because I know it's so much work to like, because some brands just greenwash or like pretend like they're super sustainable. H&M, what? They pretend that they're super sustainable but they're not, and so it can be really hard to like figure out like how they really are. So there is an app called Good On You. I'll leave the link down below, and it is just like kind of like it gives you ratings of all the different companies. It doesn't have every single company on there, but it does have a lot of them, and it's just like gives you ratings. Some of them are a little harsh. I feel like I don't think the one for Everlane is accurate, but it is like a good basis to go off of. And if you want to do some extra research, if you really don't think that the company's that bad, you can look at their sustainability tab on their website, stuff like that. I just think it's really important to kind of do what we all can to help with this issue. We can all have a little ripple effect on the community around us, and don't worry about doing this perfectly. If you make the switch to a sustainable wardrobe, please let me know, and I would love to kind of chat with you about the struggles with it, because I get it, it's hard, but I just think it would be really cool if a lot of us just tried a little harder to make less of a footprint on the earth and a better difference in the people's lives. Even if they're all across the ocean in China, we can still help them out a little bit. So yeah, we each have a vote, like with our voice, like we really do. And I see it as, because we all wear clothing, we're all part of the problem. Like we all have a voice in this, and you vote with your dollars. And I know a lot of people don't believe this, but if enough people decide to stop shopping from certain fast fashion retailers and we start emailing them and telling them, hey, like this is not okay, we could actually get them to change, and we could get those people who are suffering a better wage and better working conditions. Like we can do this if we all just make a little bit of an effort. So I hope this video inspired you to make that change in your life. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe to my channel, and let me know, as always, in the comments any criticisms, any compliments, any video requests that you want to see. So love you guys, bye.